Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty significant happening in the crypto space and digital identity too.
That's right. We're talking about the project co-founded by Sam Altman of OpenAI back in 2019.
Exactly. And the big news is they're launching here in the United States after initially, well, steering clear.
Yeah, and their whole aim, just to recap, is creating this global identity system.
Mhm.
It's built on blockchain, and the part that really catches the eye is their use of those iris scanning orbs.
The orbs, yeah. Can't miss those. So our sources are flagging this U.S. launch as a really key moment.
Definitely. For crypto, for digital ID, it's a development worth watching.
So our mission today is basically to unpack why this U.S. launch is important, why now, and what it might mean for, how we prove who we are online in the future.
Okay. So the strategy. Why come to the U.S. now?
Good question. They had that big global launch July 2023, I think, but skipped the U.S.
Right, and that was largely put down to regulatory uncertainty. How crypto and maybe biometric data would be treated.
So this move now, it suggests they feel a bit more comfortable or maybe see a clearer path.
That seems likely. It implies maybe increased confidence that the rules of the road for digital identity and crypto are becoming, well, clearer in the
And it's
States.
not a nationwide blanket launch either, is it? It seems quite targeted.
No, definitely not. Our sources say they're focusing on 6 specific cities to start. Places like
Okay.
Atlanta, Austin, LA, Miami.
Nashville and San Francisco, too. What's the logic there? These innovation-focused cities.
Well, these are all places with pretty strong tech scenes, right? Communities often more open to trying new things, including crypto.
Ah, okay. So target the early adopters first.
Seems like it. Focus on these tech-forward areas, get some initial traction, maybe learn some lessons before thinking about going wider.
Makes sense. And they've presumably learned from launching in, what, about 20 other countries already?
Exactly. This feels like a more maybe refined approach based on that global experience.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. The other big piece here is the WLD token listing on Coinbase. How important is that part?
Well, that's crucial. Getting listed on a major regulated U.S. exchange like Coinbase lends a lot of legitimacy.
Right, it makes it seem more established.
Yeah, and accessible too. This
Yeah.
makes it way easier for people in the U.S. to actually get and trade the WLD token.
Which is the project's own crypto token.
Correct. And there's an incentive tied to that, isn't there? For U.S. users specifically.
Yes, the reports mention getting 16 WLD tokens if you verify your identity with the iris scan.
Which is a pretty straightforward way to try and build up that initial user base, solve that cold start problem lots of projects face.
Get the network effect going.
Precisely. Plus, having Coinbase involved, that kind of established market infrastructure, it could potentially help provide some stability for the WLD token price.
Which it might need, right? Because the sources mention quite a bit of price volatility.
Yeah, absolutely. There was that peak near $12 earlier in 2024, but then a really sharp drop, like 90% down to around the $1.10 mark.
Wow, okay, so quite the roller coaster. Did the U.S. launch news itself move the price?
It did initially. Reports said there was about a 15% jump when the news broke. But those gains didn't fully hold. It trimmed back a bit, which, kind of shows how responsive the market is, but also how volatile these things can be.
So the Coinbase listing helps with infrastructure, but long-term price depends on actual adoption and usefulness.
That's usually the case.
Yeah.
Sustained user growth and people seeing real value in the World ID system itself will be key.
Okay, so wrapping this up. World entering the U.S. is a pretty big marker for biometric ID in the crypto world.
Definitely. Strategic city choices, learning from past launches.
And that Coinbase listing providing crucial access and potentially some market structure, even with that token volatility we mentioned.
It feels like a significant new chapter for them.
It does. And that leads us to the final thought for you, the listener.
Right. As these kinds of biometric systems like worlds become potentially more common, think about that balance.
The balance between, say, the convenience they might offer versus, well, privacy.
Exactly. What are the really important questions you should be asking as this kind of technology keeps developing? Something to mull over.